Hello everyone and welcome back to my opinion. And two more games have been played in this competition, and you think those games will go a long way in determining the final standings in Group 1, with both New Zealand and Australia winning their games. Now, I unfortunately couldn't watch the New Zealand game, but a few highlights from that. I thought Josh Little's hat-trick was great for him and for Irish cricket. I think this team has improved quite a bit in the last year since the previous T20 World Cup, where I think they were knocked out in the qualifiers by Namibia. Since then, I thought they competed reasonably well in that two-match series, the T20I series against India at home, especially in that second game. They recently defeated the West Indies by 9 wickets during their journey to qualify for this T20 World Cup. They beat England in this group stage via Duckworth Lewis. I thought Lauren Tucker's innings against Australia was a very good one, his 71. And today, two great moments rather. Josh Little's hat-trick towards the end of the first innings. And also, I thought that the 68 in the second innings, it combined between the two openers in 8 overs, theoretically that could have set them up to win the game. Unfortunately, after those two openers were dismissed when the score was on 68 and 70, they could not get the required momentum to get themselves over the line. But I think in this last year, this team has grown quite a bit, and they should be very happy with not only with what they've done at times in this group stage, but with what they've done in general throughout the year. And now on New Zealand, I think, look, I'm not surprised that they have won this game, and a huge positive for them would be that Kane Williamson played the innings that he did play today. After the previous innings against England, a run above 40, there weren't many concerns voiced, but they surely would have been feeling it. I think the fact that how he would go for the rest of this tournament, as well as beyond this tournament in this side, and that's the reason why I think it's a hugely important innings for him and this team. The fact that he has played this kind of innings today. He has played many quality innings in this format. Unfortunately, since IPL 2022, it's either been the case of him not getting too many runs, or when he does get runs, him not going at a great strike rate like we saw against England. So I'm very happy that for him that he has played this innings that he's played today. And as I said, it will only be good for the team going forward, because they would like him to rediscover his mojo. And yeah, that's on New Zealand. Once again, they've managed to qualify for at least the semi-final of an ICC event. Ever since 2015, they really have been brilliant. And yeah, I think that if you look at their bilateral form, especially what the games against Australia, it was a bit of a sad run of results. Both sides struggled with the bat, but the fact that New Zealand didn't win the games after having an advantage many times in those games, I thought they'd be really disappointed with. Ever since winning the World Test Championship final, even their test match form hasn't been great at all, and they've had quite a few losses. So ever since winning that competition, things haven't been great for them in a bilateral sense, but in ICC tournaments, they always do punch above their weight, especially since the 2015 World Cup. And once again, we've seen that they've made another semi-final. So yeah, really well done to them. Now on the Australia versus Afghanistan game. So in my previous video, I said that I thought Afghanistan would receive a thrashing of a lifetime in this game, considering the challenge that Australia had to face in this game in terms of their net run rate. However, the moment I saw the Australian starting 11, I thought that it was going to be a bit difficult for them to get that desired impact that they would have wanted. Okay, yes, there were 2 forced changes. Unfortunately, Aaron Finch and Tim David were not fit for this game. There would be huge losses considering what Australia had to do. Cameron Green in for Aaron Finch wasn't the worst change in the world. However, Steve Smith in for Tim David with the current situation, with Steve Smith's T20 form, or Steve Smith's T20 form, and with what Australia had to do in this game, it would have been really a huge loss. But one change that I could not understand at all was, look, I don't care how Mitchell Starc is bowling. Okay, he's not been as good as before, but against Afghanistan, surely you'd think that he would have a very influential kind of impact on this game, especially bowling above that 145 kph mark more often than not. And if you look at how the game panned out in the second innings, you'd think Mitchell Starc in this 11 would have ensured that Afghanistan did not get anywhere near as close as they did. No disrespect to Afghanistan, but I thought that Mitchell Starc not in this team did kind of impact Australia with the fact that there wasn't that outright kind of bowler you could say, right, I'm going to turn to this seamer under pressure. Now, yes, Josh Hazlewood was there, but Mitchell Starc is Mitchell Starc, and I think that, look, he is one of their two lead seamers, and I really don't understand why he wasn't played in this game. And it did show because Afghanistan got very close to winning this game. They only lost by 4 runs, and I thought that they didn't have that bowler in Mitchell Starc to turn to with his absence in the side. As you saw, I was baffled kind of seeing him sit in the stands because I just thought, what were they possibly going to get by playing Kane Richardson ahead of him? And if this was supposed to be a statement, then Mitchell Starc, okay, yes, he hasn't been as good as he's been before, but he is still, as I said, one of your two lead seamers. I don't think it's a case where he should be the one who should be dropped first. I mean, yes, Pat Cummins went well today, but I've been very skeptical of his impact in terms of his bowling impact in T20s. And in recent times, he's shown that he hasn't found his feet in this format with the ball. Yes, he went well today, but in a general sense, he hasn't. And again, Kane Richardson didn't have a great time in Sri Lanka at all. So I don't understand what they would have seen in Kane Richardson that they didn't see in Mitchell Starc. I don't get why they chose to drop Mitchell Starc as a statement when he was not the worst performer in the side. So I think, I really don't understand that decision. And you could say that costs their desired kind of impact on this game by 25%, not having Mitchell Starc in the side. I don't think Afghanistan would have got, despite the fact that they did play quite well, they did give a very good fight, but I don't think they would have got anywhere near as close in this game had Mitchell Starc been playing. And from the start, I think that we all expected the run rate in Australia's innings to hover around that at least 9.5 to 10 over mark. Yes, they got 54, I think, in the power play, but it wasn't in the way that we thought they'd get it. David Warner did start off very well. His running between the wickets was brilliant, as we have seen when he is scoring runs. He hit 5 boundaries in his innings as well, but unfortunately played a shot that he would not want to see in the replay. I thought the key for Australia at that point in time for getting a very big total was David Warner batting for the majority of the innings, especially with how well he was going. And overall, Australia it wasn't the tone that they wanted to set. And especially when the wicket of Steve Smith fell, I think the 3rd wicket on 54, you thought, okay, yes, they would have preferred Tim David in this game ahead of Steve Smith. And especially when that 3rd wicket fell, you thought, this isn't going how we thought it would, and this isn't going to plan for Australia at all. And I think they got 83 runs for the loss of 3 wickets in the first 10 overs. And even then, had the chance been taken by Ramanullah Gurbaz off the bowling of Gulbuddin Naib, then Mitchell Marsh would have been dismissed early, and Australia would have probably not even got to that point in the first 10 overs. And even then, they scored they got 85 for 5, I think, in the last 10. So they really they did not get the kick in the batting that they would have wanted to get. I thought they would have felt they were 30 runs short. They would have liked that around that 200 score at least, so they could look to bowl out Afghanistan for 120. Had Mitchell Starc been in the side, that could have been possible because, yes, they were, I think, 98 for 2, and then they went from that to 103 for 6 via. I thought the over from Pat Cummins to Ibrahim Zadran was a quality over, yielding only 2 runs. And then that brought about the 2-wicket over from Adam Zampa, dismissing where both the set batsmen were dismissed, one off a run out and one caught in the outfield. and then Josh Hazelwood dismissing Mohammad Nabi. So I thought that over from Pat Cummins did bring the other 2 overs, which saw success for Australia with the ball. However, yeah, I mean, the lack of Mitchell Starc, the lack of momentum for Australia in that first innings, this really wasn't the Australian team we expected on the day. And for Afghanistan, Naveen ul-Haq, who I think played his first game in this tournament, 3 for 21. We've seen when he has bowled before, he bowls the majority of slow balls, and that's what he did today as well. 3 for 21, he went very well. Rashid Khan 1 for 29 in his 4. Fazlullah Farooqi 2 for 29 in his 4. And I thought that Afghanistan did incredibly well to restrict Australia to 168 for 8. And without the likes of Mitchell Starc in the side, I still didn't think there was kind of as much of a chance for them to win the game. But I still thought they'd have a better chance than if he wasn't the side. Ramanullah Gurbaz with 30 of 17, especially after the early wicket of Usman Ghani. He really did put the pressure on the bowlers. He was dismissed in the 6th over of the power play when the score was on 40. And there was a partnership of, I think, 59 between Ibrahim Zadran and Gulbuddin Naib, who I think it's been a fair while since I have seen him in the side. He played a very good innings today of 39 of 23, putting pressure on the Australian bowlers, and Ibrahim Zadran was, again, not going anywhere near the way that Gulbuddin Naib was, but again, it was overall a partnership which gave us to Afghanistan that platform to go on and win the game. But as I just said, Ibrahim Zadran was not really going the way that he would have wanted to. And that over from Pat Cummins, credit where it's due, because I have debated, or rather have I've kind of debated his effectiveness in this format with the ball, but credit where it's due. I thought he was very good today with the ball. And that over from him, 2 runs yielded in that over. Then saw the 2 overs from Zampa and Hazelwood where the wickets fell. So that 3 over phase did go in Australia's favour. And I don't think they expected Afghanistan to get as close as they did, with Rashid Khan playing a brilliant innings of 48 of 23 in the stadium where he does play his cricket for, I think, the Adelaide Strikers in the Big Bash. And yeah, Afghanistan would have been really disappointed that they didn't go over the line in this game. I didn't think I would have been saying that before this game started. If the catch offered by Mitchell Marsh had been taken when the score was on 54, then there could have been even lower total to chase for Afghanistan in the second innings. And also when they lost 3 wickets in those 2 overs, that was kind of a phase that did sabotage their pathway to winning this game. So with a 4-run loss, they'd be really disappointed that they lost this game, but I thought this was a very good performance by them and a very unforeseeable one. And that's why with the equation, I think if Australia won by 50 runs, then England would have had to win by 1 run. And now with the very narrow margin of victory, England have to just beat Sri Lanka and they're into the semi-finals. And it kind of, so far, my desired combination to result in my desired finals combination is going very well. So I hope that continues to go well and we do see an India-South Africa final. And yeah, that was on this game. And yeah, England just have to beat Sri Lanka tomorrow, and that is pretty much them in the semi-finals. And yeah, tomorrow is also Virat Kohli's birthday, and despite whatever I said about him in the last few videos, I mean, I've still said the truth in my view, but I think what I said a few videos ago before this T20 World Cup started was that I think if he kind of finds a way to get the maximum output from himself in this competition, to give India the best chance of winning this competition, then that would be a huge success. And so far he has done that. I think the brilliant innings of 82 against Pakistan, and in fact that's the reason why I couldn't tell him off for dropping that catch in the South Africa game, because if he hadn't played that knock, then India would have probably been in a position where they could fear being knocked out of the competition at the group stage. And against the Netherlands and Bangladesh, especially when they were losing wickets towards the end, I thought his 64 was a good innings. So I think he has been very good this tournament, and that is still independent to the fact that in general, look, he is still my favorite batsman, and I wish him a very happy birthday. And tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow, is also my birthday. I think tomorrow will be my last day of being a teenager. I'll be turning 20 years old on the 6th. So that's on my birthday as well. So I'm looking forward to both days, and let's see how the games tomorrow and the day after go. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Please share this video with your friends, and remember, this is my opinion. What's yours?